Here we go with part 2 of the Rogues Gallery. Here's the second page. We looked at the first few villains on the first thing. That little spider thing doesn't appear up there or anything, so anyways, let's go. Alright, so here we go with the lizard. Real name Dr. Curtis Connors. Occupation Research Technologist, former Army surgeon. First appearance Amazing Spider-Man Volume 1, Issue 6, 1963. Alright, he does not have that thing. It's pretty weird too how his tail looks like he's going into the thing. Alright, here's the history of the lizard. After having lost his arm while serving as a war surgeon, Dr. Kirk Connors decided to take up other scientific pursuits. He became fascinated with the ability that some reptiles have of regenerating a leg or their tail. He developed a serum to try to regenerate his missing arm. But despite the protests of his family, tested it on himself. The serum was successful in regrowing his arm, but then, much to Connor's horror, he kept transforming until he became the terrible lizard. Spider-Man's antidote to turn Connor's back has proven temporary, and even now, when under extreme stress, Dr. Connors again transforms into his hideous alter ego. While Kirk Connors has become one of Spidey's best allies, the lizard has become one of his deadliest enemies. Weapons and power. Weapons. The lizard's tail is a dangerous weapon and measures approximately 6 feet. Power. The lizard has the ability to leap almost 12 feet high and can lift nearly 12 tons. He can also climb walls and possess incredible stamina and speed. To top it off, the lizard has telepathic control over any reptile within a mile of him. Alright, so that's a lizard. Next we have Venom. Venom. Real name Eddie Brock. Occupation criminal vigilante, former journalist. First appearance Secret Wars 8, Alien Costume, 1984. Amazing Spider-Man Volume 1, Issue 299. Eddie Brock, 1988. Alright. He does have the thing there, so... it just plays that music. Alright, history of Venom. Venom is an amalgamation of two beings. Eddie Brock, a man who was fired from the Daily Globe when Spider-Man exposed him as a fraud, and an alien symbiote that posed for a time as Spider-Man's black costume. Brock and the aliens' combined hatreds for Spidey led them to merge and form Venom. As one entity, the symbiote possessed all of Spider-Man's powers, and worse, Eddie Brock knew Spidey's secret identity. Armed with this knowledge, Venom set out to destroy the man it believed had ruined both of their lives. Which is Peter, or Spider-Man. Weapons and power. Alright, no weapons. Power. Venom possesses all of Spider-Man's powers and even greater strength. He can disguise himself as anyone and is invisible to the Wallcrawler's protective spider sense. Venom is vulnerable to fire and loud noise can separate the symbiote from Brock. Alright. Shocker. Alright. Real name Herman Schultz. Occupation professional criminal, thief, safecracker. First appearance Amazing Spider-Man Volume 1, Issue 46, 1967. And he does not have the spider thing in the box there. Alright, history. Alright, this one's very short. Schultz was a safe cracker who kept getting busted. While in prison, he came upon an idea to break into safes by shaking the doors off and built his original machine in the prison workshop. He used his machine to break out of jail, but in the process realized that he'd need a suit to help insulate him from the shocks. Thus, the Shocker was born. Weapons and power. Weapons. Originally just in the gloves of his costume, the Shocker had vibra-shock units of his own design that were thumb activated. They are now built in throughout his costume. His belt has a lifetime battery that is supposed to keep him charged. Power. Shocker's suit is foam insulated, and he has thick boots to help absorb any shocks. Alright. Next we have Rhino. Real name Alex O'Hearn. Occupation professional criminal. First appearance Amazing Spider-Man Volume 1, Issue 41, 1966. He does not have the thing there, so. History. As the subject of an experiment designed by spies, O'Hearn submitted to chemical and radiation treatments that granted him enormous strength. He was then given a specially designed suit of armor and became the Rhino. Ordered to abduct astronaut John Jameson, the Rhino turned on his employers and attempted to kidnap Jameson on his own. Spider-Man intervened and defeated the Rhino, who was placed in a special state corrections hospital. Weapons and power. Weapons. Rhino wears polymer armor similar to a rhinoceros hide, which covers his entire body except for his face. The costume is highly impervious to damage at extreme temperature. Rhino's horns can dent 2-inch plate steel. Power. Rhino possesses superhuman strength and speed. Alright. Kraven. Real name Sergei Kravenov. Occupation Big Game Hunter. First appearance Amazing Spider-Man Volume 1, Issue 15, 1964. Alright. No spider thing there. History. Also has a second part there. Kraven was born into a wealthy Russian family. His mother fought depression and eventually took her own life. Aw, that's sad. Kraven became enraged when his father quickly remarried and became even more incensed when his stepmother became pregnant and gave birth to his half-brother, Dmitri. Kraven and Dmitri's relationship was strained, to say the least, and Kraven left home. Kraven went out and traveled the world, using his wits to survive. While working for an African safari, Kraven discovered he possessed an extraordinary talent for hunting. With his agility enhanced, Kraven found it hard to find new challenges. That is when a call from his brother Dmitri set him on a path to hunt the biggest game of all, Spider-Man. Alright, weapons and power. Weapons. He's developed his own fighting style by battling jungle animals with his bare hands. So technically his bare hands are weapons. Power. Already the world's greatest hunter, Kraven has enhanced his strength and speed by taking a potion given to him by a witch doctor. Alright. Next, Scorpion. Real name Matt Gargan. Occupation professional criminal, former private detective. First appearance Amazing Spider-Man Volume 1, Issue 20, 1965. He does have the thing. It's the same music though. It's the same music though as on the regular screen. Anyways, history. J. Jonah Jameson was determined to put Spider-Man in his place, so he financed a dangerous experimental procedure to create someone more powerful than the web-slinger. Jameson hired Dr. Farley Stillwell to experiment on Matt Gargan. Gargan underwent radiation and chemical treatments that gave his body the power of a scorpion. Armed with his bodysuit, Gargan easily defeated Spider-Man. Drunk with power, Gargan went on a crime spree and Jameson lost control of his puppet. Unfortunately, the side effects of the experiments had an adverse effect on Gargan's mind, and his evil side started to take over. Dr. Farley was killed trying to get Gargan the antidote, and the effects became irreversible. Spider-Man eventually outsmarted Gargan and put him away, but Gargan swore revenge. Weapons and power. Weapons. Scorpion has a bulletproof suit that has pictures on each hand. The suit also has a cybernetic tail. He can use the tail to spring over 30 feet in the air, and it can be used to smash things. Over the years, weapons have been added to the tail so that it can now shoot powerful blasts. Power. The Scorpion is stronger than Spider-Man and can leap easily to the top of a one-story building. And finally, the Vulture. He doesn't have the thing. Real name, Adrian Toombs. Occupation, professional criminal, former electronics engineer. First appearance, Amazing Spider-Man Volume 1, Issue 2, 1963. Alright. After being betrayed by his business partner, Adrian Toombs took to the air to seek his revenge. Thrilled with his sense of freedom and power and victim to his own arrogance, Toombs turned to a life of crime. He then suffered the humiliation of defeat at the hands of Spider-Man and swore he would get revenge on the web-slinger. At one point while in prison, Toombs was in an accident and afraid that his vendetta against Spider-Man would go unfulfilled. He told his secrets to his cellmate, a lowlife named Blackie Drago. Drago became the Vulture, and eventually Spider-Man had to fight two Vultures when Toombs got well and came looking to regain his name. Weapons and power. Weapons. Toombs uses an electronic anti-gravity harness which allows him to fly. Power. The electronic anti-gravity belt also gives Vulture enhanced strength and endurance. Alright. So that's it there, and now the Sinister Six thing. Sinister Six, original members. Kraven, Mysterio, Kraven, Sandman, Electro, Vulture, and Dr. Octopus. And it says for first appearance, Amazing Spider-Man, Volume 1, Issue 1, 1964. And it just shows all of them there. And all it shows is the history. Because we know what their weapons and power are. History. Tired of being defeated time and time again by Spider-Man, Dr. Octopus decided to turn to some other supervillains to help him destroy the Wallcrawler once and for all. Though not everyone responded to Doc Ock's invitation, 5 did, and the Sinister Six were formed. Ock quickly realized that trying to get all of these egos to work together or take orders from him was useless, so he proposed a plan where they all fought Spider-Man one at a time, but in succession until the wary Wallcrawler was worn down and defeated. The team kidnapped Betty Brant and Aunt May, and fearing he had lost his powers, Spidey bravely charged into action and managed to defeat them all. This just made the bad guys more determined than ever to get their revenge on Spider-Man. The Sinister Six has had a few different incarnations over the years, with such villains as the Hobgoblin, the Son of Kraven, and even Venom making appearances on the team. Alright, so that's it. That is the Rogues Gallery, so I'll see you guys for the archives.